Well, we've got all the components of our Seafood Sadya right here. How many items? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Out of these, only 3 or 4 don't involve seafood in any form, which is the happada, the banana and the paisam. Well, this is a dish that I've been waiting for, the mutton biryani. What makes it very special is the masala. Also love that aroma of that nehi, of that tuppa that is wafting through that rice.
The fish pira.
Taste karo. When the chef tells you to taste, never refuse.
Spices masala.
Oh, I love the aroma.
Like this is what makes this biryani special.
So this is what
Correct.
makes the biryani special. This is what makes Wilton special.
Correct.
So now that I have the masala in my hand, I can go home. I can go home and make the Wilton biryani. Well, we've just emerged from the kitchen and the place is completely packed. I think all the 500 seats that they have here are already filled up. There are people waiting in the waiting area for a seat at the table. Every room that you look into seems to be busy, seems to be packed. You guys are visiting here or?
Yeah, regular.
Regular here. Who are you serving?
For you.
No, please don't.
Small piece.
Please don't. No. I will just have the rice. I'll have some rice. So what are your names?
My name is Naeem.
Naeem. And this is your family here. So well, we're going to taste some of the mandi with this lovely family here that's invited me to the table. How's the mandi? Good? The rice?
Whenever we come to Wayanad, one lunch or one dinner is must go.
Yes, the rice itself has so much flavor. Thanks to you, I discovered something. So well, when you come here, in addition to what I will taste, also try the mandi and some of the other Arabic dishes. We saw the al-faham being prepared there on the grill and that comes recommended
That's right.
by the folks here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Honor.
Thank you. The interesting things that happen when you're filming. The mandi wasn't on my list, although I had heard much of it. But the very kind family there implored me to taste some from their table. And I must say, it's quite a revelation. I love the long grain rice and the manner in which every grain of that rice is cooked in that savory, meaty broth. And that's really what I'm tasting. To be honest, I can eat this rice just by itself. So good. The family here is enjoying a mandi. I saw another couple out there who are enjoying some noodles along with some Chinese fare. Some people are doing the sadya, some people are doing the biryanis, some are doing just the parota. I saw some grilled chicken going out to one of the tables out there. So this is also the sort of place where no matter what you're craving, you're more than likely to find it out here. And that's a reflection of what I see on the menu as well. So be it things like the salads, you've got an extensive Chinese section, you've got things like a pasta as well. The last place where I would have expected to find pasta, but then also the old classic recipes like a chicken stroganoff. If you fancy a paneer tikka, a mushroom masala, you'll find that as well here. And I guess that alludes to the broad appeal of the restaurant. It's not just for the local preparations, although that's what we're going to focus on. It's for pretty much everything in general. And because they have the number of chefs that they have in the kitchen, manning different sections, I guess this is one of those few places where you can order from pretty much across the menu and you will find something to your liking, given the depth of skills that they have hired for their kitchen.
So your artingal soup.
I love the steam that's emanating from that chatti. Thank you. We spent much time in the kitchen. Part of our observation in the kitchen was also some of the prep for this atkal soup. At the heart of it is that green masala, that green paste. And that's also what we find in the color and overall appeal of the soup. There's plenty of pepper that goes into it as well, and you can see that in the flecks of pepper. Oh, this isn't your typical kal soup. This is a soup that's quite fortified too. Also feels rather thick. I don't know if the thickness is because of the onions, and also if there's something else that goes in to thicken it. I'm also tasting somewhere the fragrant flavors of the star anise. The sort of flavorful warmth that gently percolates down your throat. I'm also biting into flecks of ginger. Oh, this is so good. To be honest, I didn't pay too much attention when this was being cooked because my attention was more towards the components of the seafood sadya, and also I was getting ready to find my way to the biryani. I just got a glimpse of this in passing, but I must say this is a soup that certainly deserves your complete attention. Many a times when you're tasting atkal soup, it's very gamey in its flavors, and some people get put off by that. But out here you're tasting the goodness of the mutton broth, but there's plenty of the curry leaves, of the onions, of the garlic, the ginger, etc. that have gone to flavor the soup. So what you taste is quite nourishing and quite rounded in its appeal. Well, after the soup, the very nourishing, flavorful atkal soup, it's time to say hello to the vale ele in preparation for the seafood sadya that will follow. Well, the salt on the leaf signifies that the rest of the food is to follow. Prawn chutney, fish pira, the same fish pira that we saw being cooked downstairs. Fish thoran.
Beetroot and fish.
Beetroot and fish.
Fish avial.
Fish avial with prawns. Fantastic. Kuntal roast. Wonderful.
Fish curry, naimin.
Naimin.
It's a different fish curry, fish gravy only. Nattal nallika curry. Crab rasam.
Oh, nand rasam.
Crab roast.
That's the nand masala. Oh, paisam. Palada pradhanam.
Fish pickle.
Fish pickle. And this is a fish fry. Well, we've got all the components of our seafood sadhya right here. How many items? Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Out of these, only 3 or 4 don't involve seafood in any form, which is the hapala, the banana and the paisam. The rest has seafood in some form or the other. The prawn chutney, we've got the fish pira, we have the fish thoran, which also has some beetroot there. Fish avial, this is the kuntal roast. We have the nand masala, nand soup, fish that's cooked with the gooseberry. We have a fish curry from the South Kerala, which is with the coconut milk. And then we have a fish mulgatadu, which is spicy and from the area. And then, of course, keeping it company, we have some fries. The mati, which is a sardine, and the kilimeen, which is again a local fish, along with some fish pickle. I think what we want to do is begin perhaps with the nand rasam, the crab rasam. I want to taste that rasam. It's like a regular rasam. Yeah? There's no nand in it. Somebody said nand rasam.
No.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So apologies. I was told it's a nand rasam, but it's not a nand rasam. It's a regular rasam. Perhaps I was mistaken in my understanding. I was overwhelmed by the amount of seafood that I find on my banana leaf. I think let's begin with that fry while that fish is still hot. Nice curry leaf. Don't want to let go of that. I love the balance in that masala. It's warming, has a bit of acidity but not too sour, and it's a sort that complements that oily flavor of the sardine, of the mati. I love the glisten on that fish skin. tells you this is a fresh fish. I also want a bit of that crusty masala with that piece of fish. I think some of that skin has crispened to a crackle. I don't know if you heard that. There's also a little bit of a garnish of sort of some onions and some tomatoes that lends a slightly different texture to the overall fish fry. And now for some of that kili mean. This is a fish that's much firmer in its texture and also the sort I think that has quite a few bones. So I think when it comes to the sadhya, they do the smaller fishes because you've got plenty of seafood to taste. So therefore, it's not a prime specimen of an ayokora or an aila or something like that. It's more about relishing the flavors of fish in every form and preparation possible. The flavors here are a lot lighter, a lot milder when compared to the mati. And in this, I'm also tasting the flavor of the coconut oil that that fish has been fried in. I like that light topping of the tomato and that onion. That moist, wet crunch of the onion. I think let's move now to some of the other dishes. Perhaps that kuntal roast. The squid roast that we saw being prepared, draped quite generously in that masala. Bit of a sour edge to the spice, to the warmth of that masala. I'm loving the flavor of the cumin too that I'm tasting. So out here with the masalas, with the roast, they allow for the preparation to simmer on a low flame for a while. And that's where the flavors get concentrated and also the texture. For instance, the atkal soup, they cook it over hours. And therefore that liquid reduces to a rather flavorful, concentrated broth. So good. I want to taste a bit of that kuntal with the onions, with the tomato, with some of that rice. So good. And that squid is not rubbery in the least. It has that initial gentle bite. But beyond that, goes down quite nicely alongside the masala. I think next let's go for some of that crab. The crab masala that we also saw being cooked. These are not the largest specimens of the crab, so the sort that will probably lend better. To being sucked of all the meat and the juices within. Delicious. I love the flavor of that masala. It's enough just to hold that briny, saline flavors of the crab. If you want to do justice to a crab, well, this is the way to do it. You want to suck all the goodness out, both the meat and that masala. Let's taste some of that pira. That is the ayakora pira. The flavor of the coconut oil. There's a bit of the sourness that's coming, I think, from the puli, from the tamarind, and then that nuttiness of the saswe, of the tempering that goes in the form of mustard seeds, and the coconut that's roasted along with the fish at the very end. It's a condiment, and I think therefore it's fitting that it almost has a bit of an achari sort of a flavor, just for my friends in the north to relate to what a pira tastes like. I think that rice is a great companion for everything that you find in this leaf. Typically you associate the rice only with the curry, but out here I've enjoyed it with the kundal roast, I've enjoyed it with the fish fry, but there's also the fish pickle that I need to taste. And this is again made fresh every couple of days. That deep, sour, slightly savory note of that fish. And I think they probably fry the fish for a bit, therefore allowing for it to hold its texture in that pickle. So this is the natoli with the nellikai. So the fish is a small fish, as you can see right here, and the sort that almost gets lost in that gravy alongside the nellikai. This is the gooseberry. Nice and sour. I think the spicing that I'm tasting in every item here, in every dish here, is spot on. Especially in the flavors of the fry, the kuntal roast, the nandu. Not the sort of typical flavors that you would associate with a commercial establishment. And I think the key here is the people that make these preparations. So the lady that we met down there, I don't think she's a trained chef. So she cooks the recipes that she's probably learnt at home, and that's the way she's been cooking. And so the flavors that I'm identifying here are the sort that are quite homely. Very nice and flavorful, not spicy in the least. There is a sour note of the gooseberry. And now for some of that fish curry. Only the curry, there's no fish in it. I guess there's a small fish like the netoli that go in to bring in to impart fishiness to the curry. But otherwise, this one is more about the curry. Slightly sour, creamy. I want to taste some of that prawn chutney. That intense aroma that you associate with dried prawns. And also matching flavors. Get some of that into the rice. The rice tones down the pungent flavors of the dried shrimp. It's an acquired taste, but those who love dried shrimp will certainly love this. This is the toran with the beetroot and some fish in that. Nice and refreshing, very cooling, courtesy the beetroot. So out here, barring the kuntal and the small fish fry, you're tasting more the flavors of the fish as opposed to, let's say, tasting chunky preparations of the fish. The only place where I see a chunk of the fish is this mean mulagattadu curry. I'm told this is a spicy curry that comes from this region. And that's a chunk of the ayakura in there. Of course, the fish has gone a little cold, sitting there exposed to this air-conditioned environment. The fish is nice and chunky, quite meaty in its textures. Sour, spicy, quite robust in its flavors. We also taste some of the avial, and I'm told the avial has some chemmin or the shrimps in it as well. Chemmin goes rather well in the avial. The only thing is I'm trying to find more of the chemmin because the chemmin is quite lost amongst the carrot, the beans, the coconut. A normal avial we've tasted plenty, but a chemmin avial is not something that's easy to come by. I just wish there were a few more shrimp in the avial. The avial is quite mild and just the edge of the coconut oil and plenty of freshly grated coconut, of course. I want to go back to that mean mulagattadu. Quite nice. Get a bit of the happalam, the papadam, and also some more of that curry. Very enjoyable sadhya. So if you want to taste a sadhya, but with the flavors of seafood, certainly something to check out when you're in Wayanad. I'm quite tempted to go for that paisam, but as you know, we've watched the making of a biryani and I can't wait to taste it. So we're going to save our paisam for later. Well, this is a dish that I've been waiting for, the mutton biryani, and we also saw a specimen of this being cooked downstairs. What makes it very special is the masala. Also love that aroma of that nehi, of that tuppa that is wafting through that rice. This wasn't something that we ordered, but they said that the chicken 65 here too is very, very special, very famous. And in this part of Kerala, the biryani is eaten with a few interesting accompaniments. So we have the date pickle, we have the chamanti, the mint chamanti, which is with the fresh coconut, and the yogurt. Some of the mosur bhaji. can't wait to taste this, to be honest. The gentle flavor of the spices and the sweet, savory depth of the fried onions. So good. Even at the start of this meal, when I tasted that mandi, I felt that the rice, I could taste it, I could savor it just by itself. And even in this case, just the flavor of that rice. It's quite creamy, or perhaps buttery would be a nice word to describe the lushness of the tuppa that I'm tasting in that rice, and then the flavor of that masala. But that's delicious. Just that masala and that rice. Gentle heat of the pepper. But the warmth in this biryani comes from the spices. Whether it's the hard spices that have gone into the pot right at the beginning along with the ghee, or that secret spice mix. So good. And now for some of the meat. I'm tasting a bit of the fattiness that's veiled through the meat. Not the softest specimens of the meat that you can find. Mind you, this is goat meat, not sheep meat. That's what's used here. There is a bit of a bite that also helps draw the masala out from the meat. The meat here is a sort that warrants you to put in some effort in prying it from the bone and also in chewing on it a bit. But what I give full marks to is the flavor combination of that biryani rice and that masala. A solitary piece of the green chili. That's the only ingredient alongside the pepper that goes to spice this biryani. Let's taste it now with some of that date pickle. Quite sweet, very tasty by itself. For a biryani purist, you may perhaps be a little startled where the chutney, where the chamandi comes in, is to kind of break the flavors on the palate. Because this biryani rice is quite lush with the ghee and with all the spices. All that you need to do is reach for a bit of it, bite on it, and immediately it resets your palate back to zero. And then you can dive back into that biryani. Date chutney is also the sort that can substitute for dessert at the end of the biryani. But we have the chicken 65 to taste. This, I'm told, is also a very popular order, and the chicken is a sort that's quite yielding. Quite flavorful. Although it's gotten a bit cold, I can definitely taste the flavor of the garlic in that spice paste and also the flavor of the curry leaf. Perhaps in that oil in which that chicken has been deep fried. So out here they have multiple kinds of biryani, and when it comes to this local Kozhikode style biryani, they've got the mutton. They also have the poth varivelu, which is the poth erechi ribs, very popular as well. And then there's also a chicken biryani that you can taste. Just the right beverage to help things settle down in my tummy. We've spent the last 4 hours watching the coming together of the Seafood Sadya, the making of that special Kozhikode mutton biryani, and then, of course, spending time savoring it all. It certainly has been a long shoot, and this lemon tea at the end of it all certainly feels quite nice and settling. I wasn't counting on eating something for at least a couple of hours, but you see a Kozhikode halwa, you can't turn it away. The banana halwa, delicious. When you come around this area, you should certainly get some of that halwa. Even as I was filming here, I met so many folks from different parts of the country, such as the popularity of Wilton. And when I look at it, I think it's because of the family's commitment to keeping the traditional values of their food alive, yet making it relevant to a modern audience. And all of that comes together in the sort of atmosphere and service that's quite friendly and welcoming. So if you find yourself in any part of Wayanad and want to taste a meal that will remain memorable, definitely find your way to Hotel Wilton I've enjoyed the Sadya and the mutton biryani and also that artikal soup. But beyond that, there's plenty on the menu for you to savor. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, stay strong, happy eating and drinking. If you'd like to support the work that we do at Food Lovers TV, do consider joining our membership community on YouTube by hitting the join button below or on the home page and receive special privileges like behind the scenes footage, shoot updates, access to live Q&As and a lot more. You could support us on our Patreon page as well. For more info, check out the links in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and leave a comment below. Happy eating!